Our play is about the Transfiguration. On a mountain, 40 days before Jesus' passion, a miracle happened. Humanity met God in the revelation of the identity of Jesus.
He showed his eternal glory and a promise of what was to come to three of his disciples who had known him as their friend and teacher.
The Transfiguration would strengthen the faith of his disciples and assure them that God was in charge of everything that was to happen in Jesus' last days on earth.
But let's start 6 days earlier. Jesus was asking his disciples,
"Who do you say I am?"
"You are the Christ, the Messiah, the Son of the living God."
"God bless you, Simon, son of Jonah. Your answer doesn't come from books and teachers. God himself has told you. Now I'm going to tell you who you really are. You are Peter, a rock, and this is the rock on which I will put together my church. But for now, you must tell no one that I am the Messiah."
Now Jesus wanted to make it clear to his disciples that he had to go to Jerusalem, submit to an ordeal of suffering at the hands of their religious leaders, be killed, and then raised to life on the third day.
Peter protested.
"Impossible, Master. That can never be."
"Peter, get out of my way. Satan, get lost. You have no idea about how God works."
Nothing, no power would ever alter God's plan to save mankind, with Jesus taking the sins of the world on his shoulders by dying on the cross.
"If you're going to come with me, you're going to have to let me lead. You're not in the driver's seat, I am. Don't run away from suffering, embrace it, and follow me, and I'll show you how."
Which brings us now to 6 days later.
Jesus took Peter, James and John and led them up high on the mountain. When they reached the top, the disciples lay down on the ground to rest.
While they were falling asleep, Jesus began to pray. Suddenly, right before their eyes, his appearance changed from inside out.
His clothing became dazzled, white and flashing like lightning.
Here is Jesus, the three-in-one, flanked by his Father and the Holy Spirit.
Then, as if out of nowhere, two men appeared and talked with Jesus. There were Moses, the man of law who had led people of Israel out of Egypt and received the 10 Commandments from God. And there was Elijah, the greatest of all prophets.
They had left heaven for a few moments and come back to earth to talk with Jesus. The three disciples were astonished and frightened.
"What has happened?" "Master, this is a great moment. Let's make 3 memorials here on the mountain. One for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah."
But just then, a light, radiant cloud enveloped Jesus, Moses, and Elijah. God's voice sounded from deep in the cloud. "This is my Son, marked by my love, my chosen one. Listen to him." The disciples were terrified. They fell face down on the ground. When the voice finished, Jesus came to them and said,
"It's all right. You can get up now. There's no reason to be afraid."
Slowly, they opened their eyes and saw only Jesus. It was as if nothing had happened. Coming down the mountain, Jesus swore them to secrecy.
"You must not tell a soul about what you've seen. After the Son of Man rises from the dead, you're free to talk."
The disciples puzzled over that. What on earth did rising from the dead mean? They would soon find out.